For most managers, conducting performance review meetings is one of the most challenging and stressful professional duties. This lesson will provide you with steps to take to ensure your review meetings go smoothly, and hopefully, stress-free. A clear and consistent review process provides assurance and builds confidence. We now come to the review meeting, or meetings. This is where you need to apply a coherent process, and to use your communication skills to shape and control the review discussion to achieve a successful outcome. Performance review meetings are often badly managed. What sort of problems have you experienced in performance review discussions? Here are a few of the most common problems with performance review processes. Lack of adequate performance information. Lack of preparation. One-way communication. Managers often avoid taking tough decisions. Inconsistency in reviews between managers. And bias in reviews. We will begin by looking at the problem which can lead to significant interpersonal problems: bias. Many different kinds of bias can show up during the performance appraisal process. Here are 5 common ones. Contrast. This occurs when the manager compares an employee's performance to other employees instead of the company's standard. The halo effect. An employee is rated highly in all areas because of one thing they do really well. The horn effect. On the flip side, an employee is rated as a poor performer because of one thing they don't do well. Leniency. A manager gives everyone on their team a satisfactory rating. And recency. The employee's most recent behavior becomes a primary focus of the review. It is important to follow a consistent structure in your performance reviews. We suggest you first review achievements, then review shortfalls, and finally, agree objectives and actions for the next year. We recommend you apply the following guidelines in the review discussion. Seek the interviewee's input. Ask open-ended questions to encourage discussion. And work to build interviewee's self-image. When reviewing employee achievements, you will most likely be asked to complete a review rating. Here is a typical 5-point rating scale, in which the manager, and ideally, the employee are both asked to rate the employee performance. In some cases, performance reviews are relatively straightforward, as in the example below, for a customer service representative. This type of rating scale requires data captured from a CRM system, and the manager simply needs to compile the data, and then discuss the results with the employee. However, in most cases, performance reviews are not this simple, and normally require a significant amount of manager interpretation. In most cases, performance targets require some degree of interpretation. Take this example. Execute all projects on schedule and to budget. If we use the rating scale, just how do we determine whether he or she met the expectations? Do we really mean all projects? Do we take into account variations required by the client? What do we do about unavoidable delays, beyond the control of the employee? What rating do we assign if 90% of all projects were on time and on budget, the ones which weren't on time and on budget accounted for 50% of the total income of the department? As you can see, assigning a rating here is quite a challenge. So, how can we make a decision in such a situation? Here are some general guidelines. Objectivity. Where possible, use the most objective information you have available. Objectivity is not always possible, but do your best. Get the facts. Have all the facts ready before you enter the review discussion. Know what may have caused any performance shortfalls. Get employee input. Elicit the employee's interpretation of his or her performance before making your decision. Consensus. Try to reach a consensus with the employee on the rating you will assign. And finally, be consistent. Make sure you apply the same rating principles with other employees. Take the opportunity to praise the employee for their achievements. Let them know how much their efforts benefits the team, and you personally. Ask them what you can do to help them do even better. And use this as a lead into looking at performance shortfalls. The next step is to review performance shortfalls. We recommend you apply the following guidelines in reviewing performance shortfalls. Give specific feedback. Ask for explanations. Seek actionable solutions. Offer assistance. Seek proposals from the employee on how to improve. Ask open-ended questions. And attack the problems, not the employee. Let's look now at an example of a performance review that went wrong. Read the discussion below. First, the manager tells the employee they had a lousy year. Then he ignores the employee's explanation, arguing sales need to grow. The manager then moves on to attack the employee for problems in the distribution center, which the employee said had been resolved. The manager also refers to an enormous number of complaints, while the employee claims there have only been 2 complaints. This is an example of a terrible review discussion. What mistakes would you say the manager made? So what did you observe? You probably noticed the following. The manager's approach to questioning is inappropriate. He made no attempt to elicit the employee's own analysis of their performance. The manager also has a negative attitude. He made no attempt to identify achievements. It is also clear that the manager failed to prepare for the meeting effectively. Clearly, he was not up to date with data, and did not read the employee's performance plan and targets. Did you spot any other problems? And the third step is to agree objectives and actions. On completion of your review of the current year, you will then need to agree the employee's performance objectives for the coming year. We recommend you apply the following guidelines in this part of the review discussion. Share your objectives, or those of the team. Elicit employee contributions to the objectives of the team. Help your employee frame SMART objectives. Ensure that the employee owns the objectives. Confirm how you will measure and review achievements. And offer support to help them reach their objectives. We will look at performance planning in more detail in Unit 7. Finally, we believe it is very important that you display personal integrity in the review process. To do this, be honest in all your dealings with employees. Be fair. Treat all employees equally. Be consistent. Apply the same standards at different points in the review process. And be sure to follow through on your commitments. A successful performance review discussion should be a two-way dialogue. Focus on employee achievements and enable the employee to identify their shortfalls. Provide the employee with a chance to share their ideas, concerns, and needs. Reach a consensus, with agreement on the observations and the decisions taken. And be the foundation for an ongoing process in which the manager provides support to enable the employee to achieve their objectives and contribute towards the success of the team. Subscribe now and join us in your career journey. Want to learn more? Click on one of our websites to view our range of online business and management courses.